Settle in. Welcome. Hi. All right. So this is the third practice in a Foundations of Anusara Yoga series. If you've missed the first two, don't worry. We'll do some catch up because it lines up perfectly with the teachings today, which is how do we combine an energy that gives us a sense of trust and stability and strength with an energy that allows us to expand and delight and reach out with courage. And in the practice of yoga, the reason I think I fell in love with Anusara Yoga was I finally found a way to channel and direct and understand how energy flows through my body in such a way that started to relieve some of the pain and discomfort and challenges that I was having, because I believe that if we can learn to harness the energy that flows through us and figure out how to stream it and where do we pull it into and how do we expand it back out and when does the difference make a difference. For example, you've got what we call three focal points. One is in the core of your hips, where sort of like your tailbone and your pubic bone form a juncture. Another is at the base of the heart, front and back, inside, right below your shoulder blades. And another one will be up in your palate, where your hard palate is, from the front of the palate to the back of your head. And pulling energy into a certain part of you, and then learning that we root it down, we ground it, like anything that's electrified. If it doesn't have a grounding current, it blows up. And it's just like our bodies. So those of us who are prone to fritzing out, or, if you just realize you've blown yourself up, that's a good term. We need to get grounded. Some people are so grounded that they never know how it feels to like shout in delight or like jump up and run around the block a few times. So we take that energy and we learn how to raise it. So it's a practice of adaptogenics, really, about knowing how to draw into who you are and how to expand most intelligently down, out, and up. And the fun part about yoga is down, out, and up changes shape. We change relationship to it. So we become shapeshifters, if you will. And I love to shapeshift the poses, turning a pose upside down, exploring it from a different vantage point, and then going back to it can be quite enlightening. So we'll come to hands and knees on your sticky mat, and we'll take a moment to remember the refined placement of the hands and the fingers. So when you set your hands down, the center of your palm could be a focal point. It could be a place where you collect energy into. So if you look down and just spread each finger evenly from the center of the palm and then press your finger pads down, the muscles will hug to the bone of your hand. Same thing with your toe pads. From there, lift your knees a tiny, tiny bit. And the focal point that we're going to work with here is the base of the heart. So if you allow your arm bones to stay straight and pull them down into your shoulders or up into your shoulders. Now press from your shoulders down into your hands and expand it down through the hands and up through the spine, down through your legs. And just listen to your breath and let the energy flow. And if you want to move your hips and your feet around to let some of that energy that wants to move, can you do so in a way that is super connected to mindfulness? So the principles of alignment don't just apply to the physical body. It's also about mental energy, emotional energy. Walk your feet forward, standing forward fold. Spread and lift your toes, and that should help pull an energy from your feet up into your hips and also clarify the four corners of your feet. Bend your knees, and as you bend your knees, feel the quad muscles squeeze towards the bones of your legs, bring your hands to your hips, and now we'll draw the shoulder blades onto your back. So all this is muscular energy, hugging into the power of the pelvis. So from the pelvis now, push down through the legs to rise up and stand up. Take one block and place it between the upper inner thighs. Bend the knees, give that block a squeeze. So we've hugged muscle to bone, we're hugging to the midline, and with the arms out wide, claw at the air and press the hands energetically towards the midline between them. Embracing all that you are, push from your hips down. So that's the organic energy. The bones push down into the earth, and then we lift up through the chest and up through the arms. Big inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll bend the knees slightly. Feel the energy pull up into the hips. And as you push, muscle energy hugs in, organic energy pushes out. So we need both. There's always muscles drawing in and bones expanding out, and then figuring out how to do it with grace is the practice. Now we'll dive forward, squeeze that block the whole way down. So don't let go of that power. Inhale, side body's long. Exhale, fold. Squeeze the block, clarify your feet, hands to your hips. From the hips, push into the legs and rise up. Deep breath, reach up. And hands to heart. So we'll take the block away and see if you can remember the power of the midline. That's a jargon term in Anusara Yoga, hug the midline. So active feet, steady shins, hug the midline, keep the thighs moving back and your tailbone rooting down. From there, push organic energy down through the legs as you reach up. Maintaining the strength of the legs, fold in half. Inhale, lengthen. Now we'll plant your hands like you did before and step to a shape-shifted pose of mountain pose called plank. Same active feet, steady shins, inner thighs lifting, tailbone lengthening. And now you've got to also consider your arms. And bend the knees forward towards your wrists. Pull everything from the hands up into the shoulders and the heart, up through the legs, down into the heart. And organically, we expand with inhale, reaching down. The path of least or shortest distance from the heart to the hands, from the heart to the hips. Inhale, plank, strong plank. You can use your knees. And when the pelvis and the heart and the palate all line up in plank pose or in other postures, the pelvis will win by default. We're upright bipeds. So the most weight-bearing focal point will always be the one you hug into and shine out from. And so from your hips, reach back through your heels, organic energy. There's strengthening the legs from the hips to the heels. Inhale, knees to the sticky mat. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. Push down through your finger pads, lift your armpits a little bit. And from your hips now, push down through your legs as you pull forward, all fours. So I had to borrow a strap off of a backpack. So if you don't have a strap, go get creative. We're gonna lay down, knees bent, feet on the floor. Take the strap around right where your heel meets the arch of your foot on your right. Bend both knees. So the lifted leg is bent. Spread your toes, flex your ankle. And now do the same thing with your left leg. Push through the heel, even though it's on the floor, push it down so your hamstring engages. Push the heel that's right up in your strap, up without extending. And that'll help you feel muscles hugging the bone. Arm bones settle into shoulder socket. That's passive muscular energy here. Now from your pelvis, extend through the left leg, push it from the hip to the heel, sort of like plank pose. That's the leg that's on the floor. Push it down. The lifted leg can stay mildly bent. And now we'll inhale and pull both knees to bend. And then on exhale, push from your hips through both heels, extending left leg down to the ground, right leg up. Inhale, draw in. Exhale from the hips, push through the heels, and then up through the spine and long through your crown. Beautiful. Release that. Roll to one side. Pull yourself up. Step the left foot forward. Tuck your back toes. The shapeshifter moment. You just did this pose on your back with a strap. Okay. So now squeeze your front foot down and back, and your back knee forward and then down. There's a whole school, a lineage of yoga that's thousands of years old that informs this practice. It's the Krama, Krama, Krama lineage. It's a lineage of yoga that talks about how order, if this, then that, then this, then that, makes a difference. So push your front foot down and back, drag the back knee forward and down. And that should light up the energy in your legs. From your pelvis now, you can push through the bones, push down through the front leg, down through the ball of the back foot. Now from your hip, extend that heel. There we go. Nice. Pull in again, more muscular energy. That'll help stabilize it so that you can lift up cactus arms. As the legs pull in and the upper body rises up, now we can settle it organically down from the hips through the heels and up through the spine to the arms. And we start to become more efficient in how we move energy through our body. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Strong legs. Spread your toes, toenails, push down through finger pads. Pull the hands down and back so that you can lengthen the upper body out of the dynamic energy reaching through your hips. Inhale up. Transfer the weight to the heart. And then shine it down. Dare to be you. Nice, good, long breath. And here's a familiar move in most modern day yoga practices. So it's the step through. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, pull your knee into your belly. And then step that leg forward. Then you'll notice what I mean by we have to have one part pulling in as you have another part really pushing out. So we'll try that again. And I can tell you this, where you got stuck, where your foot dropped like a lead balloon, is where you stopped breathing. So try that again. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, keep pressing the exhale, push through the left foot, left hand, and lightly step. Place the knee. Front foot pushes down and back knee forward and down. Now the bones can stretch into the muscles to lift up with grace. Use your hands on your upper thigh. Deep breath in. Big breath out. From the hips to the front foot to the back foot, lift the knee a little bit. And now with power, like you did in plank and when you're on your back, extend from your hips through both heels to lengthen both legs, not just the back leg. There you go. Hug in again. Make the legs a little bit straighter, and then use that energy to rise up. From there, reach down through the bones of the legs, even as you stretch up and touch the sky. Full breath in. And one long exhale to dog. One long inhale to plank. One long exhale all the way to the belly. Feel the foundation, open to your breath. Muscles hug in, radiance shines out. And up and back, downward dog. We'll try that with left leg. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, pull it in. Push through right leg, right hand, and keep pressing the breath out. There you go. Climb up. This time we'll turn your right heel to the floor and open up to a pose called Warrior Two. Push down through both feet, pull both feet towards the midline between. Maintain that, particularly from big toe to inner heel, as you straighten your front leg. So we're pulling in. Now push the bones against the muscle energy. Reach through the back leg as much as you bend the front leg. And I like to use your hands here. Inhale, hug in. Exhale, push through back leg as much as front leg. Inhale, hug in. Here's a different directive. Just reach through the front leg. And it's going to get tired because the back leg's just like, yeah, whatever. So let's direct the energy flow and use both legs. Pull in with both feet. From your right hip, push through the right foot as you bend the left knee. And then reverse. Left arm up. Hold that back leg, squeeze it in. Arch towards front heel as you reach forearm to thigh. Draw your shoulder blades on your back. Deepen your breath. Now trust your legs. Push down into the earth as you reach right arm up to the sky. Magnetize this energy between your 2 feet and then push down, especially through your back leg, to come out of the pose. Heel toe, other side. And pause in general form and shape. Take a deep breath. Remember, life is good. Okay. Feel your feet. Hug to the midline as if you could squeeze that sticky mat right up between your feet. And with powerful inhale, pull up both legs into the focal point of the pelvis. Push through both legs, organic energy. And ride that wave of breath that hugs in and shine it evenly down, up, and out. One more time. Keep that back arch hugging towards front heel as you reach up and over, reverse. Inhale. Keep reaching through that back arch, plugging in. And as you start to lean, make sure that back leg stays strong, reaching from the focal point. And then earth, 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 push your body down, your bones down, and then reach up to the sky. Inhale, reach through back leg. Turn all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. Heel toe, bend the knees. Let your breath settle and deepen. Most poses in yoga will have a focal point in the pelvis. There's so many standing poses. All the poses you do while you're seated or lying down. Some poses have the heart as a focal point, like downward dog or handstand or forearm balance. And a few poses have the upper palate as the focal point. All right, come to dog pose. What's your focal point? So we pull energy into, that means you've got to just let your arms settle into your shoulders, let your knees kind of bend a little bit. That'll also help your back. And then the bones extend down through the hands from the shoulder blades up through the spine. Inhale to your knees. Cross your second favorite ankle in front. Refine your seats. Hands to your knees. Gently keep the elbows bent. I'm a big fan of slightly bent limbs. So as you press the hands, palms down into your knees and the elbows stay bent, push your knees back into your palms and lift your body up out of your crown. Now, gently draw the shoulder blades on your back. And I've said this before, but imagine your collarbone is a smile. And can you expand the bones? There's a little tiny muscle called subclavius right under your collarbone. And it's one of its jobs is to broaden that collarbone out toward your elbows. So organic energy goes in reverse. If muscular energy hugs muscle to bone, it hugs the midline and it draws from periphery to core in that krama, in that sequence. Then organic energy moves from core to periphery, like your collarbone. It moves from the midline out from your hips to your knees. And then it's the last one is more, you've got to think of it like a lampshade. Like if you turn on the light inside and you let the luminosity expand from the bone to the muscle to the skin to your energy body. And we'll draw the hands to the heart. In the Anusara method, there are 5 main principles of alignment. Organic energy is just one of them. We start with open to grace, expanding and remembering we're part of something larger than us. It's as close as your next breath. Into that expansion, you can start hugging muscle to bone, finding your midlines wherever your body touches or where there's space between the body to hug energetically. And then engaging from the periphery into the core, the focal point. Next class, we'll talk about the refinement principles called inner spiral and outer spiral. And the muscular energy and the organic energy are the 2 primary currents of learning to hug in and shine out. So in time, this will all make sense, maybe next week or in another 20 years. And the point is, do you feel better now than when you began? Have you expanded not just your physical capacity, but your mental, emotional capacity, just a little tiny bit? And maybe now when you take a practice with me or any other teacher who uses this particular biomechanics, you'll start to hear the language in a way where you're like, oh, I know what that means. And I know what's coming next, which it'll help you start to more intuit the practice as it's flowing through you and being delivered by somebody who knows the sequence, and perhaps you don't, most often not. But if you understand the krama, if you understand we open to grace, we hug in with muscular energy, we expand out with organic energy, and we could just spend all the practices focusing on that. And then we'll use those refinement principles to further line up lower back and shoulders and neck. So to the wisdom that streams through you and the way you drink it up and hold it in your cellular memory, and the power of being able to attune to the power that flows, that knowing that we know that we are just so beautifully in tune with the wisdom of nature. We offer an Om. Deep breath in, and big breath out. Inhale again. That radiant light in me bows to that light in you. Namaste. Thank you. Hope you rock the rest of your day. Good to see you.